Welcome to the first hole of Handara Golf and Resort, Bali. Ibn Sutoa was the founder of the course and he named it after his youngest daughter, Handara. This is a right-to-left dogleg par 5. The ideal tee shot is a draw around the dogleg, but beware the out-of-bounds border, all on the left-hand side. Be wary too of running out of fairway if you elect to hit a straight shot from the tee. A creek crosses the fairway 150 yards from the green. An approach from the left is easiest as the cluster of bunkers from right stretch back 55 yards from the green. The green slopes quite severely from back to front. Don't be too long with your approach shot as there is a steep banking behind the green and a devilish bunker back right. The first par 3 on the course and arguably the most difficult, named for the magnificent flame of the forest tree which stands roughly midway along and on the right-hand side. The best line for your tee shot is left of the flag as there is banking on this side. Also, the green slope funnels everything to the right. The green is defended by bunkers front left and on the right. The green is deeper than it is wide and slopes moderately from left to right. Rated as the toughest hole on the course, this is a left-to-right dogleg par 4 and downhill all the way. Your tee shot needs to be accurate to shorten the hole as much as possible, but be careful not to run out of fairway if you choose the left-hand side. Named Stone Bridge for the lovely double-arced bridge which crosses the creek which divides the fairway into two. Longer hitters may take the option of going for the fairway to the right-hand side of the creek. Careful club selection is required on the approach to both reach and hold the green. Many approach shots roll out long. The green is guarded by bunker front right and slopes slightly from front to back. The second par 3 and all is laid out in front of you. Depending on the pin location, a slightly faded tee shot will usually give you the best chance of getting close to the hole. Mature casuarina trees can be seen growing on both sides. The green is well guarded by a large bunker complex front right plus more bunkers front left, and back right. The green sits diagonally to you, is kidney-shaped, and slopes slightly from front to back. An uphill par 4 which runs straight from tee to green. For many, this will be their first opportunity to use the driver. This hole is named Fear Candle for the pair of fear candle trees which can be seen on either side of the fairway, 150 yards from the green. Pairs of these trees were planted at Handara in the 1980s on all the par 4s and par 5s. Before deciding which club to use for your approach shot, be sure to check the pin placement. Don't overclub, as putting downhill on this back-to-front steeply sloping green should be avoided at all costs. The green is oblong-shaped, deeper than it is wide, and is guarded by a bunker on the right as well as banking on the left and at the rear. You tee off on this stunning par 4 through a gateway of beautiful red poinsettia plants. A good tee shot will clear the bunker's left center of the fairway, which begin about 170 yards from the green. Taking this line will result in a shorter approach. The safest option, though, is to aim for the right-hand side of the fairway. When considering the approach, shorter hitters should consider laying up well before the deep creek, which lies about 40 yards from the green. The green itself is guarded by bunkers on the left and right. It slopes slightly from back to front and from left to right. Named Pengelengan, which is the name of the hill which looms above the green. Pangalangan is the steep-sided northeastern rim of the Bayun Bratan caldera, which formed about 40,000 years ago in an explosive eruption. This would not have been such a nice place to visit back then. A fairly short par 4, which plays uphill all the way. A decent drive will take you past the fairway bunker on the left, which is about 160 yards from the green. The green is wide, but shallow and has two levels. Both fall back to the front, but the lower right-hand side also falls from right to left. The green is well guarded by bunkers from left and back right. Named Lesung, which is the pyramid-shaped mountain you look towards when standing on the tee. A left to right longish dogleg par 4 that will test you. A faded tee shot is ideal. For those taking the direct route, you may run out of fairway if your tee shot drifts left. A prominent flame of the forest tree stands at the crook of the elbow and is still some 205 yards from the green. There is a disused reservoir on the right-hand side which must be avoided. The green is not that big and can be hard to hold, so look to play a high trajectory approach shot. The green is guarded by a bunker from left and slopes slightly from front to back. Named Wolveridge after Michael Wolveridge, who was one of the original architects of the course and had the most input into Handara's design and construction up until the course's opening in 1972. This right-to-left dogleg par 5 takes you back up the hill and to the clubhouse. There is not much to be gained by trying to hit a draw off the tee. Better to simply play towards the fairway bunkers on the right-hand side, which are about 250 yards from the green. Your second shot should favor the right side so as to stay clear of the fairway bunker on the left, which lies about 80 yards from the green. The green sits above and diagonally to you and is defended by penal bunkers, both front left and on the right. The green slopes quite severely from back to front. Try to get your approach shot to stop as close to the pin as possible, as this is not an easy green to putt on. Named for the yellow-leafed, hedge-like golden dewdrop shrubs which line the path down from the clubhouse and surround the tee box. You need to be very accurate with your tee shot on this downhill par 4. Either hit long and straight towards the green or plan to finish left of center to avoid being blocked by the large fir tree on the right-hand side of the fairway. The green is oblong-shaped, deeper than it is wide, and is guarded by bunkers on the left and right. The green is of the rare crown type, with a slight ridge running roughly through the middle of it. The front section falls to the front right, whereas the rear section falls slightly to the back left. Your tee shot will pass through the corridor formed by the magnificent flame of the forest trees to reach this deep green, which is fairly narrow at the front and widens to the back. The green is well guarded by a deep bunker front left and a bunker front right. The green slopes moderately from right to left and slightly from back to front. Following exceptionally heavy rains in 2012, there was a major landslide. A big section of Pengalan, the caldera slope, tumbled down, doing significant damage to the course. As part of the repair works, Buyan Creek was dug to divert mud and water. It can be seen crossing the 18th, the 15th, the 13th, and finally this hole. It exits the course back left of this green and eventually empties into the Lake Buyan. The fairway is wide and the only danger is hitting too long and into the creek. The green is teardrop-shaped, narrow at the front. It is guarded by bunkers from left and front right and slopes moderately from right to left and slightly from back to front. Named for the numerous champaka trees which can be found bordering this hole. Their white and yellow flowers are sacred to the Balinese as they are closely associated with Durga, the Hindu mother goddess, the protector of the world. Your challenge from the tee is to negotiate the fairway bunkers on both the left and right-hand sides. The shortest route to the hole is over the left-hand side bunker. The safer option is to play to the left of the right-hand side bunker. The approach shot is played slightly uphill to a green that is oval-shaped and is guarded by a fairly deep bunker on the right. The green slopes slightly, both from back to front and from left to right. Stands of golden bamboo can be seen scattered along the right-hand side of this hole. The last par 3 on the course, and it should not be taken lightly. Uphill all the way and strongly defended. It requires a precise shot to get close to the pin. There are 2 deep bunkers on the left and another guards the front right. The green is much deeper than it is wide and slopes moderately from right to left and slightly from back to front. Named for the tall evergreen puspa trees which line both sides of the fairway and which can be found thriving all over Handara, easily identifiable thanks to their reddish-orange upper leaves and their white flowers, which can appear throughout the year. A good length risk-reward par 5 that big hitters can reach in 2. The large fairway bunker cluster on the right encroaches well into the fairway, and a decision needs to be made as to whether to lay up before it, attempt to cross it, or to play to the left of it. Buyan Creek crosses the fairway at 125 yards from the green. There is a second centrally located fairway bunker which extends from 40 yards to 20 yards from the green. This bunker definitely needs to be avoided. The green is very deep and oval-shaped. It is defended by a bunker on the right and banking on the left. The green slopes slightly both from back to front and from right to left. Named after the nocturnal mammal, the chivet, which is native to the area. A large population of chivets live in the heavily forested Pengelengan Hill, which is to the right of this hole. From the elevated tee box, you look down the fairway and then up to the green in the distance. Your tee shot can be hit long and high. Just don't aim too far right as rough pinches in on this side. Out of bounds runs along the left side. This hole's main defense, though, is its green. It slopes severely from back to front and moderately from right to left. It is defended by a deep bunker front left. Like hole 5, you must avoid having to putt downhill on this green at all costs. The longest par 4 on the course and a good driving hole. Go for the length off the tee. Named for the Pakis tree ferns, which can be found growing out of the little island in the fairway bunker on the left-hand side. The generous undulating fairway slopes moderately from left to right, so aim for the left-hand side, as all balls will roll to the right on landing. The approach shot is played slightly uphill to a large green, which is roughly oblong-shaped, deeper than it is wide. It is guarded by a deep bunker on the right. The green slopes both from left to right and slightly from back to front. The longest hole at Handara to finish your round. Buyan Creek crosses the course for the first time 345 yards from the green. It may come into play depending on which tee you are playing from. There is also a cluster of bunkers on the right-hand side just after the creek, which needs to be avoided. During the first days of construction, a World War II-era Russian bulldozer was borrowed from the army and brought up to Handara. It proved to be faulty, and soon after arriving, broke down completely. The bulldozer was buried on this hole, where the fairway bunker was created above it. The bulldozer bunker lies in the middle of the fairway, 105 yards from the green. The 18th green is the largest on the course. It is oval-shaped and is guarded by a deep bunker front right. The green slopes moderately from back to front and from left to right.